nice to finally be back in New York City. I got back a couple of days ago, and then my mom came back with me, so we were exploring the city, did a lot of shopping, but it's Sunday. I go back to the grind tomorrow, so I'm really trying to get my life together. I just got my laundry out of the wash, and so trying to fold that. Then I got some groceries, so I'm gonna try to prep my fruit and stuff. I have a lot of leftovers because we ate out while my mom was visiting, so I could show her around my favorite restaurants. I don't think I'll cook tonight, but I want to make sure that my fruit and stuff is washed and ready to eat so I can get my life together. But tomorrow I start my first elective. So for medical school, generally how it works, you do preclinical, which can be anywhere from 1 to 2 years now with the variety of medical school curriculums that there are. And then after that, you do your clerkship year, where you rotate through the major specialties. So surgery, OBGYN, psychiatry, sometimes neurology. What else? All those good jazz, whatever. So I did that for a year. And then after that, it's pretty much electives, and depending on the timeline, you'll have a year of electives. In my case, I have 2 years of electives. You could have a year and a half of electives, and after you finish clerkships, a lot of people, I would say, have a good idea of what they want to do. So your electives are really the opportunity to kind of like explore other things if you don't know what to do, know what you want to do, or just explore things that you're interested in related to your specialty, or explore things that you're interested in that after you go into your specialty you may never get to do again, which I think is really cool. And because I have 2 years of my school's curriculum, really taking advantage of it. So I am starting on Introduction to Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, also known as PM&R. And I will say I didn't really know what PM&R was, and then I started hearing about it just on my school's emails. Then I went to the SNMA AMEC conference my first year, and I sat in on that specialty interest group session, and I was interested in primary care, but then I was thinking, okay, I like sports, maybe I want to do sports medicine, and PM&R is a route to do sports medicine, non-surgical. And so that's kind of like what got me interested in it, and I think it's also really interesting just helping people with their functionality, different things like that. But ultimately, I still really don't exactly know what PM&R is, which I feel like a lot of medical students don't. So I'm excited for this rotation, kind of just because since it was once on my mind, I want to make sure that it's not something that I want to do specialty-wise as I'm starting to like fully lock into family medicine, but also just to explore it, because I think that, you know, if patients have a TBI or need rehab and stuff, I think that's my understanding right now of PM&R physicians can help with that, in terms of like coordinating that for patients and supporting them in that journey. Therefore, in family medicine, everything's related, but seriously, like, my patients are probably going to be interacting with a PM&R physician in the future, and so always think, you know, kind of going into all the electives that I do, understanding it so that way I have a better idea of it for my future patients. So I will be at the VA tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure like what's happening. I got my schedule a couple days ago. I currently don't have computer access at the VA because I haven't been there in a while, and I think you have to log in every 30 days, which I had not done. It's not my fault. I just got the schedule literally on Friday, and the office was already closed by the time that I got it, so it's not really my fault. But also, my mom was telling me that apparently Monday is a holiday. It's Columbus Day, and I'm on outpatient this week, so fingers crossed that it'll be open and that there'll be someone. I emailed the resident contact information that I'm supposed to have, but I haven't heard back. And also, if they're on outpatient, it's the weekend, I wouldn't expect them to check their emails. I would hope that they can just kind of tune out and enjoy their life. But we'll see. I'm gonna get up in the morning, get dressed, get ready, and I'll be there. And then if it's not open, it's not open. But my schedule is I'm doing 1 week of outpatient, 1 week of inpatient, and so on tomorrow I'm at the VA and they have prosthetics and orthotics. So I'm excited. We'll see how it goes, but let me go ahead and get the rest of this laundry done so I can get my life together. with my friends. They're still studying for step 2, so they're watching Divine Intervention, and I was just like reading my book, and then we did a little excursion to Shake Shack. But it's 10 p.m. now. I need to get my life together, and I'm like, I haven't been in clinic in 2 months, and I know things are gonna come back to me, but right now I'm like, I actually feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. I still don't even know exactly who I'm supposed to meet in the morning because the resident did not respond to me, and yeah, I just don't even know, like, I'm trying to remember what I normally pack in my bag, but this is gonna be very interesting. Let's see what's already in my bag. Chapstick, thank God. But then I need like a little, I don't even know where my ID is for the VA, but I definitely need these pens. You cannot go without these colored pens. And then maybe like another pen to have my badge in there. And then I guess I probably need, I don't even know what I'm going to be doing. So I guess I'm going to take definitely the stethoscope. I don't even know, like, do you need the reflex hammer and PM&R? Just take it anyway. So I'm going to take my reflex hammer and my stethoscope. And wait, I need a little notebook. I need a little notebook so I can take notes. And let's see. I want like a little, I want a bigger one, but you know, we're gonna take what we can get today, and I have like a couple of these that I ordered off Amazon, so I think that's enough. That's gonna be the bag tomorrow, and you know what? We'll readjust as needed, and we're gonna pray about it. As I said earlier, just finished this book. These are like my first two 5-star books of the year, so highly recommend. I'm such a Colleen Hoover girl, and I know like people hate on her because they think like they have no depth, but I actually feel like these stories were not predictable, had so much more depth, so therefore I highly recommend. Was able to go grab my mail. Let me see what I got. So I actually already had the 4th and 5th book, or 3rd and 5th book. I don't know. This is apparently like can be a standalone or can be in a series of 5 along with that one. So order that on Amazon. Me and my sister are both into reading right now, so it's great because we can kind of like share books. So next time I go home, I'll definitely make sure to take these to her, and hopefully she's been reading some. And then this is something that I'm super excited. Wow, it is much bigger than I anticipated. So I share a lot about my faith journey on Instagram, like weekly prayer requests, and I think it's like something that's very interesting because I've definitely gotten a lot of questions about how do I balance being a Christian with also being in medicine, with the whole like science versus faith, I guess, debate. And so I did not, like, I was raised in the church, and then I really just started slacking when I was in college. And I really got into, like, after COVID doing, like, virtual church, but I think I just forgot, like, the importance of actually having that community because it was so big to me. So I've been exploring churches in New York City for the past year, and I found a church that I really think is my home church. And so I feel like now it's also time for me to really start figuring out, you know, like, I don't know, just becoming more, like, one with the Bible. So I'm super excited. Let me show you guys a little bit about this. Let me see if I can adjust the camera. So, of course, this Bible was recommended on TikTok, and I love the New International Version. So I really just have felt very overwhelmed with trying to, like, figure out where to start in reading the Bible. So when I heard about this, I was super excited, and you can see that it has, like, all the books of the Bible, but then it also just has, like, information guiding you, and yeah, I'm very excited. Apparently it's supposed to have, like, storytelling and also some maps, so I'm excited. I'm hoping that at the beginning it tells me, like, how to read it because I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm excited. So I ended up taking a fat nap because I was so tired, and I was not excited to get up to go figure out what I was gonna wear to go meet my friend, and then that ended up getting canceled because he has to work. So now I'm gonna heat up some leftovers for dinner and probably go to my friend's place and eat.
Lighten up, take me on your magic river. Tell me all your dreams align. Sign me up and tell me about the people that you know who are trying to feel alive. Life can get hard, so honey, if you need to cry, just come share my pillow and rain, rain, go away. I wanna hear about everything you're ever thinking.
So today is actually Tuesday because I ended up not going into work yesterday because I was supposed to be at the VA and apparently it was a holiday, so there's no clinic. So even though it's Tuesday, today is my technically, like, first day back in clinic. So we skipped today, but whatever.
You know that I can take the truth. Call me out if you think I'm never slipping. Maybe I can turn it around. Oh yeah. Baby, if you want.
Got here at 8:30. It's now 8:45. Attending is still not here, which is pretty typical. Because the first patient's not till 9 a.m. But I'm just hanging out in the resident room. I have to pee, but I don't know where the bathroom is, and I don't want to not be here when someone comes to get me. Try to log into the computer to see if I can pull the patient schedule, and it says it can't log me in, so we're just chilling. Typical day, medical student, having no idea what they're supposed to be doing. This morning was actually such a mess. I waited here for 45 minutes, and then I went back up to reception, and I'm like, hey, no one's come to get me. He told me his first patient was at 9. When I emailed, and they're like, I sent him a message, he read it, he didn't respond. I'm like, well, can you take me to him? Like, that's what we do at every other clinic. And they're like, no, they'll come get you. And so then we come back in the back and we run into him, and then he's like, oh, like, good, great to meet you. And then we just go in, and he's like already been seeing this patient. So I'm like, was I just gonna sit here all day and no one was gonna come get me? Like, how does this work? We just take me to the doctor, they know I'm supposed to be with them. But we saw a patient that had a foot drop and working on fitting the brace, and that was very interesting. And then of course referring to a neurologist, so try to do nerve conduction studies. So already learning a lot, but it's definitely been an interesting morning because there's just like no organization, which is very frustrating. All right, well, that was a quick morning. I was able to see about 4 patients. It was actually really cool. We saw a lot of amputees, and so different types of prostheses, and one patient actually had a myoelectrical prosthetic, which was so cool. So they kind of like have sensors all around the end of where the limb is amputated, and then like metal pieces inside the actual prosthetic, and they were able to, so like probably about half of their half of their upper arm was remaining, but still able to like totally like elbow, finger move, all of that. And then also got to see a patient with a spinal cord injury, and work with the people that do the prosthetics and orthotics and get them all kinds of bracing. Like the way their brains work, they just come in and be like, oh, this is what the patient needs. Super cool. So now I'm headed to didactics with the residents, but I have to scarf my face down on the walk there because apparently we're in the STEM center and you can't eat, but it's supposed to be a lecture on elbow ultrasound and then practicing. So
tendon sitting right on top of the brachialis muscle. Now, the location of the ultrasound transducer anteriorly is just
All right, guys, survived day 1 back, and I am so tired. It's literally 2 p.m. and I'm so exhausted. I'm so glad I have the morning off tomorrow because this like full speed ahead back to work, I need to transition. I'm not used to this. Like, I was studying for step 2 and I definitely was like up at 7:30, would go into like the afternoon, but like I'd kind of like take breaks as I please, and I just feel like it's so hard being on the whole time. In the clinic, they didn't have chairs, like extra chairs, so I was standing the whole time. So I'm gonna go get in my bed for a little bit, watch a little bit of, actually I'm gonna finish reading my book because it's so good. This is why I'm reading Losing Hope. Just like a 5-book Colleen Hoover series, and then meet up with one of my friends who's a resident whenever they get off their shift.
No time is on our side. Things are gonna haunt us.
I've been doing so good at like putting up my dishes and doing my dishes the day of. And I definitely need to get everything put up tonight because my roommate is finally coming back. But as I'm doing that, I just wanted to kind of like wrap up this vlog. I'm so excited to be back in clinic. I think clinic is usually like a little bit more hands-off at the outpatient clinics associated with the private hospital. Take with that what you may. But so it was mostly just shadowing today. But the physician like definitely kept me very involved, and I was so excited to be interacting with patients again. And just, I feel like every time I'm in the clinic, I'm just reminded of why I decided to go into medicine in the first place and just have like renewed excitement. So I feel like all the like first day jitters that I was afraid of did not really happen. Of course, I still do have inpatient next week, and as I go throughout different electives, I'm sure that the vibes will be different, so I'm going to be constantly adjusting to different vibes and things like that. But I'm so excited just to have this time to really explore and figure out like what I'm excited about in medicine. Hopefully continue to find amazing mentors, and then also just start really figuring out styles. This is like kind of what we say, like you take the good things and leave the bad things. So seeing different physicians, like their styles, how they interact with patients, and really figuring out like what my personal style would be as a physician. So that's the end of this vlog. Definitely let me know what other kind of vlogs you guys are interested in. I'm going to be doing some research this year. Going to be doing lots of electives. Have so many fun ones like dermatology, ophthalmology, endocrinology, everything lined up. Also hopefully getting some travel lines since my schedule is more flexible. So make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out when I share new videos. And thank you guys so much again. Have a good day.